Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, it's David here and welcome back to another Atlus video. Today I have some news to reveal for you guys, and sadly it's not some good news, especially if you are a fan of Soul Hackers. So basically what happened is this, last night actually we got a new financial report from Sega Sammy, the company that owns Sega and Atlus, and in a few financial reports back, there was one slide in the IPs for Sega and Atlus that they consider as pillar IPs or big titles for the company. And that was before Soul Hackers 2 was officially revealed. And when I reported on this on the channel, I was saying Soul Hackers is considered a pillar title. That must mean the IP's coming back. They want Soul Hackers right next to IPs, as you can see here with the little image on screen from the slide of Sega Sammy's financial report. They wanted Soul Hackers to be a pillar title, just like Persona, Sonic the Hedgehog, Like a Dragon, Shin Megami Tensei. They wanted Soul Hackers to be this big deal. So when a few months after we got the reveal and then the release of Soul Hackers 2, I was like, oh, so they want this to be a third pillar for Atlus. Interesting. Obviously, Soul Hackers 2 came out, some people liked it, myself included, others didn't, and it was a big financial flop. Let's look at this Persona Central report for the sales of Soul Hackers 2's first week of sales in Japan, and as you can see here, when you compare the sales of Soul Hackers 2, it charted with 50,000 copies on both the PlayStation 4 and 5. The Xbox and PC versions didn't even rank. Those are sales numbers for Japan. So all around, they did good on all platforms if they sold 100,000 copies during its first week. And if you look at previous Soul Hackers entries or even Devil Summoner entries, which are the main branch for Soul Hackers, well, 3,500,000 copies, 258,000, over 200 again for all titles. Even the 3DS port sold over 100,000 copies during its first week. But this brand new title, which is way different from other Soul Hackers titles or even Devil Summoner title, it's basically a reboot for Soul Hackers. Soul Hackers 2 flopped hard for a lot of reasons. Released at a bad time, skipped the most popular platform in Japan, which is the Switch. So it was a big flop, and it led a lot of people to believe, wow, is Atlus still going to consider Soul Hackers as a pillar title for the future? And to me, looking at those numbers, the reason is no, not at all, because this is far from what a crusty port of a Persona game or an SMT game can do at launch. And this is a brand new IP, a brand new title by a new team at Atlus, and it's still sold under what games like Nocturne HD sold, or even a third re-release of Persona 5 on a certain system. It's still selling under that for, again, a lot of reasons that I don't necessarily want to get into today. So hey, very, very bad sales. Well, what happened last night is we have a new financial report for Sega. As you can see here, first thing that I did when I saw that report is I looked for Soul Hackers, try and see what happened. And there is very much a slide that is similar to the previous slide that we had. The quality sucks a little bit, but you have all the IPs of major IPs that Sega owns, list of major IPs. And when you look at IPs that they own, well, you have Football Manager, you have Total War, you have Persona, and you have Shin Megami Tensei. So in terms of their main IP, their major IP, nothing for Soul Hackers. And I think at this point, almost 2 years after the launch of Soul Hackers 2, I think it is sadly a fair assessment to say that it is the end of Soul Hackers. I liked Soul Hackers 2. I don't think Atlus and Sega are gonna go back to that IP anytime soon. To me, in the next year after the original release, if Atlus still believed in that IP, they would have took that version, ported to Switch, and see how it goes. Because again, if you want to sell a Japanese turn-based RPG, you have to put it on Nintendo, especially in Japan, and they didn't do that. They decided not to do it, and in the year after the game dropped, still nothing. November 2023, nothing. I don't think Soul Hackers 2 is coming to Switch, which to me means they're not even willing to give it a second chance by putting it on Nintendo. I think it's the end. I don't think we're going to see a Soul Hackers 3. I don't think we're going to get any new type of Soul Hackers project. And I think Atlus is now going to look at a game like Metaphor Refantasio as a brand new third pillar for Atlus. To me, that is bad news, because regardless if you like SMT or Persona or anything Atlus failed with this project. They wanted Soul Hackers 2 to be huge, and it completely flopped to the point where they completely dismissed it in over a year. It's not even showing on their financial report anymore. And to me, that is bad news. Well, what do you guys think about this news? Soul Hackers 2, Soul Hackers IP not being considered a pillar IP by Sega and Atlus. I'm honestly thinking that a lot of you will say it's unsurprising, and I would have to agree. It is unsurprising, but I think this is our confirmation that this IP is long buried and gone. I hope you guys enjoyed the little quick news update that I wanted to give you guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next week for more content. Bye.